As an attorney and serial entrepreneur, I understand the mindset that's needed to be successful. In today's video, we're going to talk about that mindset and how it's going to help take you to the next level. Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the entrepreneurial mindset. Don't get me wrong, I'm an overeducated guy. Psychology has not been one of my fortes, and I probably roll my eyes many times when some of the mindset and vision and whatever else is brought up. As I've gotten older, I have grown to appreciate that a lot more, especially after I've dealt with so many different people of all ages, backgrounds, and so forth. There are some common themes that I think are important. And no matter what business industry you're in, I think it's important to go over the 4 points that we're going to talk about today and specifically help set yourself up for success moving forward. The first thing related to the mindset is we have got to realize this is a different game. Specifically for those of you that are coming from jobs, corporate jobs, there's a pro and con, just like there is to everything. You're on this journey, whether you have quit your job or you're doing both, because you're sick of the negatives associated with that job. Too many people telling you what to do and all that sort of stuff. Trust me, I get it. The other side, though, is the grass isn't always greener. Sometimes on your entrepreneurial journey, in fact, all the time, at times, it's a bitch. You got negatives, it's all on you. We need the discipline, we need this, we need that. And one of the differences in the game that we are now in is we don't have 20 employees, 100 employees, 4 departments to back us up, to take care of any of our specific needs. Initially, when it's you or a small group of people, it's you and it's a small group of people. You guys are chief bottle washers to CFOs to running the operations to doing whatever else. We've got to realize that. The number of times I have talked to people that are fired up about their idea and they've got themselves all jacked up to quit their job at some big firms and whatever else, and I'll see them a couple weeks into this journey or a couple months and they look like scared little puppies or beaten puppies because it is very different than what they thought. The faster you realize this is different for good and bad, the better for you, your mental health, and also the success of your business. If you guys are finding this content interesting and helpful, really want you to smash the subscribe and like button and make sure you watch through the end, because I'm going to give you a couple secret sauce points that are really going to make a difference for you moving forward. On to point number 2. We have got to use our money wisely. I know your old man said that when you were a kid. I know your banker and CPA, your significant other, whatever else. It's more important coming from Uncle Sean right now than coming from any of those folks. Because no matter how much money you have going into this endeavor, it's not enough. Trust me. I have gone out and raised a ton of money for all sorts of different endeavors. We've gotten great debt deals done. I've taken money from venture capitalists, angel investors, raised the money ourselves, pooled the money ourselves, or sometimes funded something myself. Not one time can I look you in the eye through this lovely lens and tell you I had enough money to get us done with what we specifically wanted to get done. So do not, especially if you're coming from that corporate mindset where all you had to do was send an email and a new desk showed up the next day or a new computer or whatever else, you have to realize the cost of that desk, computer, whatever you need is coming out of your pocket, your group's pocket, the investor's pocket, and so forth. So make sure we are following our budget. Let me go back. Let's make sure we have a budget. And then let's make sure we're following that budget as best we can. God knows I'm not a budget guy. I don't like to be cheap. I like to be able to do what I want to do and so forth. But in this world, especially if you're dealing with other people's money, it's a different ball game and it's a different level of responsibility. So make sure we have that idea and that mindset going in day one so we don't have money problems sooner than later. Point number 3, please understand whatever you're doing. Whether you are a YouTuber, whether you're a content creator of other types, whether you have a small business, medium business, large business, or the opportunity for that, all of that is fantastic. But it is shockingly rare that anybody is going to hit pay dirt in a short amount of time. I can unfortunately give you example after example of things that we thought would move quicker and didn't. Other times, happily, when I thought something would take longer, you get surprised and you have a lot of success earlier and whatever else. The focus needs to be on building the business. And that's it. If you build a good business, there will be an end game. There will be a sale, merger, a check, whatever the case may be. I don't know if that's going to happen for you at the end of year 1 or 10 or whatever the case may be. Best specific example of mine, when we started our tech firms way back in 2000, we got offered a potential buyout from a publicly traded firm literally before we opened the doors. Mainly what they were looking to do was buy the team. In a previous video, I told you about the importance of your team in a business plan. Well, here was a great example. They strictly wanted to give us a bunch of stock because they were impressed with the 7 or 8 people we had started out with. A couple of my partners got really excited about that. And the rest of us said, yeah, we are not doing this for a lot of reasons. A, we haven't even opened the doors. B, they want to pay us in stock, and who knows what's going to happen with the stock. Now, thankfully, the stock dropped by 90% within a year or 15 months, and thankfully we didn't take that offer. But if you look back at that tech endeavor, we got a check for over $100 million 11 years later. Now, there was a lot of success, there was a lot of failures, it was a good ride. But my point is, we had some people thought we were going to take some sort of buyout in month 3. We opened in month 4. And then down the line, we got a pretty nice check, and it took quite a while. So I want to make sure that you are not delusional about how these things are going to go. We're realistic, and we are focusing on what is important. And what is important is growing the business. Whether it's starting from scratch, whether you've been in business 2-3 years and we want to go next level, that is what the focus has to be. That is what the mindset needs to be. That is how you are going to specifically create and realize success. Point number 4, we have got to focus on the goals and the milestones that hopefully we have set previously in our journey. When we just go in and start doing whatever we're doing, and every once in a while we look and go, okay, things are going pretty well, or they're not, or we really don't have a clue. And in my experience, that's probably about 80% of the time, especially for companies 3 years and less, 5 years and less. They're just happy to still be around. And I get that. But one of the reasons they're around, hopefully, is because they set goals, they set parameters earlier. But we've got to make sure we are addressing those, we are following those, and we are adding more of those as we continue to hopefully grow the business and see how things are playing down, and hopefully also looking at other opportunities as time moves forward. Guys, thanks again for joining me today. The bonus tip I want to give you is try to follow the mantra I have followed as a longtime professional advisor. I have said for a long time, and I sincerely believe this, my job is to think 5 steps ahead, whether things are going well or if they don't go well. Obviously, we all want things to go well. But one of the problems that I see, one of the reasons that I'm a good lawyer and people are normally fans and whatever else, is because I am looking forward. But I'm also looking forward if we've got negatives. How are we going to deal with disappointed investors? How are we going to deal with different economic conditions? COVID obviously is a fantastic example of that. I have hundreds of friends, clients, things were going fantastically. And all of a sudden, not so much, really quickly. The people that were thinking ahead, that had some contingency plans, that had a disaster recovery plan, whatever you want to call it, at least were thinking about it. Those are the people that are going to come through those storms much quicker than those that aren't. So I want to make sure that we are at least taking some time periodically to be thinking down the line in general, as I've said, but also in terms of opportunities, partnerships, whatever else. Let's brainstorm a little bit. Let's think through those scenarios, and hopefully that's going to keep us on the path of success. Peace.